now listening to Cult Cinema Catacombs. These films exist. And now here are your hosts, Roy Chester Dallas Buckingham, Andrew Lance Sanchez Farmer, and Courtney, you're not going to believe this, Robertson.
Not inappropriate at all. Cool, that's a fun way to start. Honey, go to Cult Cinema Catacombs.
Nope.
It gets me every time, damn it.
Stop introducing the show.
So what's not inappropriate, Miss Robertson?
It's not. I was just telling a story about how a 6th grade student of mine was once asking me seemingly unrelated questions to try to suss out whether or not I was gay. Happy Pride, by the way.
What a way to kick off Pride Month.
Out of absolutely nowhere, this child asks me, "Are you vegan?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I eat vegetarian and vegan food often, but it's not like a lifestyle choice or anything." And he goes, "Oh, well, I heard that all people with short hair are vegan." And I said, "You have short hair." And there were only like 8 kids in this class. The rest of them turned around and all the boys were like, "I have short hair and I'm not vegan." And he goes, "No, I mean like teachers with short hair are all vegan." And I was like, "I don't think that follows at all." And he just looks frustrated and confused, and I just move on. And it wasn't until later where I was like, he thinks I'm gay because I have short hair, and I mean,
you eat some vegan dishes
because
sometimes.
of who I am. I mean, look at me. I get it. And this might not come as a shock to you, but my sexuality doesn't come up often while I'm at work because I teach 12-year-olds. So like I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, that's the story of the student who couldn't ask me if I was gay.
Well, did he know? So that's my question.
I don't think he knows I'm bisexual.
Well, no. Does
Well,
he
you know what? He probably does now because the fucking... Okay.
It better not be my kid. If you are one of my students, get the hell off of this.
I found out on Spotify because I got a link saying, check out your ratings and blah, 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 blah. It's like, you know what? I've never actually looked for this show. Let me take a look. So I go and sign in for Spotify for podcasters. And I find out that our fucking age demographic is 13 to 21.
Probably mostly the 18 to 21, I would assume.
I hope so. But yeah, 13 to 21.
I'm not interested. Sorry, if you're a child, please stop.
And our 3 countries are the United States, Ireland, and Italy.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're under 18, stop listening to us.
Go away for a little bit. Come back later.
You have better things to do. Believe
Listen
me.
up. We'll post it if we do the Oogie Loves or whatever. We'll let you know. But otherwise, get out of here.
But if you're one of the really cool kids and want to tell us about your experience with Pre-Mutos, then email us at cultcinemacatacombs@gmail.com.
I don't like it. What are we doing today?
I'm sorry, what you were saying, Andrew, before...
Was I saying something?
Move us on, please, for the love of God.
I can introduce my movie for the month. It's Voodoo Moon, if you want me to.
Okay, so tell us a little bit. I mean, I know that the internet really has nothing about it, but tell us a little bit about what we know of Voodoo Moon.
So the movie was released in, I believe it was 2006. Yep.
Rip it, by the way.
We haven't said it in a while.
It's been so long. I didn't even actually hear it. I didn't hear it, actually. So rip it and grip it.
So
how dare you?
Where I saw it, and I believe this is where it premiered, and I think it's the only place it's ever been shown again because it's not even on Tubi. It's on Fandango at home.
Wait a minute. I saw Voodoo Moon on Tubi. Did they just remove it?
They removed it. Now it might be back. Somebody's going to find out. Courtney's going to find out.
I'm finding out right now because I have it saved in my watch list. If they
last month it wasn't on Tubi. It was on Tubi the month before. I check every month, and I'm not kidding.
Voodoo Moon, here it is with Eric Mabius and Chris.
Is it available again?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. That's awesome. That makes it easier to watch.
Yeah. It's a little
So-
easier to watch than we initially thought.
What
Hey,
I
my
love is that when
favorite
you
here, this is a little bit of a digression. I apologize. There's a movie that's just called 2: Voodoo Academy.
what I love is when you type in
The
Voodoo,
number 2.
Not Voodoo Academy 2. 2: Voodoo Academy.
You know what? I actually need to show this to you because you're not going to believe me if I tell you. Wow.
Yeah, we might. I
Bring
might.
it into the show.
Yeah.
When I type in Voodoo Moon, the first movie, of course, that comes up is Voodoo Moon. I want you guys to see what the second movie is.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Murder She Wrote, parentheses, new.
I thought that said Voodoo was the third one, and I'm like, that's the shit.
I would
I'd
watch-
change my movie
We're changing
right
it.
now.
We're watching Voodoo.
We're
Actually,
watching Voodoo.
Hey, nothing
This-
in the rule book says a dog can't do voodoo.
This movie, though, right here, Voodoo,
Oh, no.
Is that
it stars
Corey Feldman?
Corey
Oh,
Feldman, yes.
God
And this
damn
is
it.
from 1995.
Okay, so maybe.
But
Anyway, Voodoo
but-
Moon. I have been
Yeah.
waiting
Voodoo
a very long time to present Voodoo Moon to this. Man, I've been waiting since before the show started. It was in the first list of movies that I had to bring to this show,
damn.
and it's finally time to give you Voodoo Moon. The greatest thing about Voodoo Moon is that apparently Voodoo Moon really doesn't exist. It was on the Sci Fi
Doesn't.
Channel on one of their Saturday night movies, which I pulled up a list of their movies.
Was that the ones that came on before that show, Lex? With
Yes,
more
yeah,
too many
and
exes.
Cleopatra 2520 or whatever
I
that
watched
show
all
was.
that shit. I watched,
Stargate Atlantis.
I
the
watched the
horniest-
last 15 minutes of so many of those movies waiting for Lex to start.
Just the horniest
But chased somehow
Yeah,
at the same
filmed-
time.
filmed in Britain, horniest chased sci-fi shows ever to be made.
A lot of shirts with a big cut in it right at the
Uh-huh.
cleavage, but not revealing any actual undergarments.
We call that the Amidala where I'm
yeah,
from.
it's the Amidala.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Or the Tremors, where she gets her pants eaten in that one Tremors movie.
yeah.
I think it's the second one.
So as alluded to in prior episodes of this show, the cast for this movie is insane.
Yes.
And it is for me one of the most memorable movies, but for no one else. No one remembers this movie. It does not exist outside of, they did show it multiple times on the Sci-Fi Channel. It is the story of a psychic brother and sister who go and hunt of a demon that destroyed a town. That's all you get. There's
God.
At all.
that's it. That's
That's
all you get.
get.
But it has John Amos in it.
Does.
Yeah.
Not
who I
the
used to-
Amos you were hoping for, but listen, still pretty good.
It's got John Amos in it. It's got Dee Wallace in it. It's got Jeffrey Combs in it. It's got
You-
Eric Mabius.
You've
and
got to
Charisma
talk about my
Carpenter.
girl.
Charisma Carpenter.
Yes, my
She's
girl.
up in this.
Joss
um,
Whedon was mean to her because she wanted to be pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure she got pregnant by this film. So there's that. I'm just really excited to finally show this thing. Not even at this point for you guys to see the movie as much as I am to pass it on like some kind of ring curse to someone else so I don't have to live with it anymore.
I love it. I'm excited.
It's also just a lot of fun. It was weird because a lot of those made for sci-fi movies or movies they would show would have the weird cast choices in it. Like you'd have Corin Nemec, or you'd have Tiffany or Debbie Gibson, or in Aquarium
Those are
of the
my
Dead.
favorites. The
Yeah.
ones with the 80s pop stars that are there
Yeah.
for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
But this one showed up and it had the Reanimator and it had Dee Wallace and it had Charisma Carpenter from every episode of Buffy. And you're just like, how much did they pay for this shit? Like, why
Remember the
would they do
person for Buffy? The person that you forgot was the most important person in
Yeah.
Buffy until after Buffy was gone, and you were like, "Damn, I miss her being a bitch everywhere."
And also Angel,
And
by
also,
Proxy Angel.
Yeah.
Like,
And then once in a while you get someone like John Barrowman talking about how he wants to eat out pussy after being attacked by a shark. So yeah.
Yikes.
yeah. Like there really should be, and I'm not going to pitch it because we already have another side project plus the other things that we keep talking about doing.
Mhm.
1 month until that big announcement.
Oh
I did
yes,
probably
we're
start
1
doing
month
smart.
away from that big announcement, folks.
I did
Probably start doing some
review.
drawings, huh?
I did review a lot of these movies, probably 40 or 50 of the 100 plus movies that the Sci-Fi Channel put on for Rick Gutierrez and the United States of Kingdom. No one asked me to.
Friend of the pod, Rick Gutierrez.
Nobody asked me to. I decided I was going to do it, and then I forced myself on the project. But
You
I would
You
like
Stockholm syndrome yourself into liking these movies.
Oh, I
Yes.
love these movies. I loved these movies
crashing
so much.
in from the ceiling like Batman well, just like ready to go.
That's right. That's right. I had the strength of a bear that had the strength of 2 bears.
I miss the Tick. Can we do a month where we just watch all of the Tick? Not the new one. Fuck that. But
I mean,
The original animated Tick?
no, the original live action.
Oh, the
one.
original live
Yeah.
action Tick. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck the new
It's
one.
only
yeah.
like 10 episodes.
but just looking at the list of the made for sci-fi movies, god damn it, they were
Oh, there's
great.
some doozies.
And it's all right on the tin. Like, you know exactly what you're getting when you walk in the door.
Yeah, there were 2 movies. Roy, I don't think Courtney, maybe you did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this isn't your wheelhouse. I would be insulting you if I said you might have seen these. Roy, did you ever watch the Return of the Living Dead made for sci-fi movies?
Yes,
The pair?
yes.
Necropolis
I
and
did-
Rave to the Grave.
They
Yeah.
made 2 specifically for sci-fi.
Sci-Fi
Yes.
made a bunch of sequels once they got the ball rolling on this, and people would watch it. Probably because they wanted to watch Lex after it, and it made the numbers look really
Yeah,
good.
they made Return
I
of the
probably
Living
saw
Dead
the last
4
10
and-
minutes of them a few times.
Right.
Yeah, Return of the Living Dead 4 and 5 was made for the Sci-Fi Channel. Then it was dumped on video at Walmart.
And then it was like a
That's rad.
it was like a pre-streaming deal.
Yeah.
Okay. It was like the original.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it gave us Anacondas and Anaconda 3.
Yep. And
One of
2
them
new-
starring David Hasselhoff, by the way.
Yeah. 2 new Pumpkinhead movies dropped
Yep.
as made for
Love
sci-fi
that.
movies.
Mhm.
Like
I'm sorry, I'm still not over Anacondas.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
I
Anacondas.
like 8 S's.
Yeah. Yeah. Great movies. Of course, all the Sharknado movies. That's what made these things.
Hey,
that's
shout
what-
out to friend of the pod who doesn't know we exist, Alaska Thunderfuck 5000, who's in one of the Sharknadoes.
But-
I think the third one.
But some of the movies like this one were out of like out of control even for their brief, right?
Like, even for this, that's a lot.
Yeah, like there was a movie, and I remember as I'm looking, it's like sparks in my brain.
Mhm.
There's a movie called Stonehenge Apocalypse that is wild.
Again, it's
There's-
right there on the tin. I know
it
exactly
really
what's happening in that
is.
flick.
There was one that was a D&D. Well, they made a D&D branded movie for the Sci-Fi Channel where it was really interesting because it was a D&D adventure,
Mhm.
but then at the commercial breaks they kept popping up like tips for playing D&D.
Oh,
Like
that's
never let the
fun.
cleric die. Like it was really interesting the way they did it. But they made
It's
Roy,
like
do you
a
remember
pop-up video sort of
Yeah.
situation. Okay.
do you remember I Am Omega
Mhm.
with the
Yes.
chairman?
Yes.
The remake of the Omega Man, which was the remake of
Mhm. You want to
It's
know
gone
what,
through some things.
you want to know what one of my personal favorite ones, and not because it was a bad movie, but just for the title alone.
yeah.
But it was just so much fun. Never Cry Werewolf.
Yep, that was a good one. That was a
Right.
good one. That was a good one.
But yeah, we also got Puppet Masters versus the Demonic Toys.
Yep.
Because
I love it.
Full Moon got involved with it for a little bit. We got a remake of The Black Hole
Yes. Yes.
for the Sci-Fi Channel.
and of course
and
they
th-
did
and
the
then-
Mothbusters.
Yeah, and then recently, like one of these days on this show, we are going to watch The Shark Side of the Moon.
Oh, it's great.
That
God,
sounds really
my-
dumb and super funny.
It's so dumb and so much fun.
Do you know what was a movie like this that I saw in Texas at the Texas Theater? And I think Roy, you might have been there. I think Courtney was there. Was the Avengers Grimm movie where they did the
No, I didn't see that. No.
Avengers Grimm. Wow, that really
I
woke
think
up
you
something
were
inside my
there.
brain.
really believe, because it was like Cole.
I was
and
not there for Avengers. I was not there
This
for
was like-
Avengers Grimm. I
This
know there was a
long
sequel.
time ago, right?
I know that there
When
was
I
a
lived
sequel
there.
to Avengers Grimm. But no, I don't remember actually going to see that one.
Like
But
this
they
would
did
have.
a
This would
they
have been
did a shared universe that, by the way, I think is still going on, where they built out of the Grimm fairy tales an Avengers.
coming soon. Avengers Grimm month. We're gonna watch them all, baby. There's gonna be
Oh.
37 episodes that month.
Speaking of
Going
sequels,
on
they
for
also
like 20 years.
Sci Fi Channel also did 2 sequels to Species.
Yep.
They
Yep.
did
Species.
Species 3 and then
Wow.
Species 3, then Species 4, The Awakening.
Yep. They did. Okay, so anyway, that's
So,
where this
Voodoo
came
Moon.
from. Voodoo Moon, great movie. You're gonna enjoy it.
Charisma Carpenter, Aaron
Yep.
Mabius. I talk about Reanimator all the time to people in my world that are not the two of you, and no one else even knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating because it's like my favorite story ever.
Yeah, I'm just really glad that that Jeffrey Combs and Dee Wallace had a weekend off at the same time. God
Oh,
bless
yeah,
them
man.
for flying down.
We've
It's a-
we've talked about Kanye West Reanimator, right? The adaptation that was done like 10 years
I
ago.
haven't read it yet, but I have it. Yeah.
You gotta get in there. It's so good. I will ship it to Ohio if I
need to
need
find
to,
it.
because
For
it's
me
really
and old
good.
Hollywood.
It's so funny. Maybe that's our BOCO for next month. Is I just do a staged reading because it wouldn't take that long. It's like 100 pages. It's really not
It's
that
very
long.
short. I
Do
mean,
a table
basically-
read of
Yeah, just a little boop.
I mean, basically, what the author did is he did Pride and Prejudice and Zombies with
Yeah.
it. He took the 3 short stories from H.P. Lovecraft's Reanimator and rewrote them as to what if they were written by Kanye.
It's
West.
genius. He dunks on Kanye absolutely constantly, and this is before the whole Nazi thing. And so it was funny, and I don't feel bad for laughing at him because he's not a legitimate artist anymore.
right. Right. Oh,
But the Moon's got voodoo.
we got to move on because I'm going to
They
keep
do
talking
vo-
about
they do
favorite
voodoo on the
sci-fi
moon.
movies.
Yeah,
If
we're
we
gonna
don't,
do.
because I'm going to
We
talk
can
about the
just
man with the
do-
screaming brain, Bruce Campbell's movie that he made,
I,
throwback.
am I a crackpot if I suggest that starting? I mean, we're kind of booked for the rest of this year, but starting in 2026,
telling
do we do
you.
Sci-Fi Original Movie Month once a
We,
year?
we,
Like
may,
documentary month?
we may have
It
to
is-
do a sci-fi original month.
With
next
anniversary
year, yeah.
month,
It is
With Pride Month.
so worth it. It
we
is
have documentary month,
We may have
and
to
then
do
we
it
have
next year
Sci-Fi Original
because
Movie Month.
yes, the Sci-Fi Channel library of movies is just a plethora of crap.
Oh, it's an
And-
Indiana Jones warehouse.
Yes.
It's the second half of the Pee-wee documentary where you're just looking in that one room and you're like, oh my god, if I
You
could
guys
just
wanna-
spend a
All of
day.
the
Before we
stuff
go-
he's collected over time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we go, just to lock this in, right? Just to really back it into the parking space. And I watched this when it was on 2006. They released a movie called Minotaur.
It's my
They
senior
had-
year of high school.
It had Tom Hardy, Tony Todd, Ingrid Pitt, and Rutger Hauer in it.
Yeah.
Wow, they got names.
And it was a period piece about the labyrinth. So yeah, let's
Huh.
do that. I'm into that idea.
We're gonna have to do that sometime next
Coming
year.
2026.
Yeah. Sometime in
I'm
I'm
2026.
just gonna
We're
set
gonna do
this up to auto program itself for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we don't have
Come
to
up with
think
a month.
anymore.
What's it? It's November. Okay, I gotta get a documentary.
All right, are we ready to watch Voodoo Moon?
I can't wait to watch Voodoo
For the
Moon.
10th time, yes, I'm
I'm
ready.
excited. I'm
ready
gonna
to
watch
go.
it on
Okay.
the plane probably.
We'll be right
Please
back.
do. Please do.
I'm literally
Please watch it
leaving-
on the plane without your headphones on. Let everyone hear it and let us know how they responded.
I have a 10-hour flight and oh my god, it's in like 4 days.
Let them watch it
Cool,
with
I've
you.
packed none.
You-
That's not true. I put shampoo from my big shampoo bottle into my little
There you
shampoo
go.
bottle.
There you go.
That's the hardest thing. That's the hardest button to button right there.
What you need to do is you need to jerry rig your iPad to have
Hook
it
it up
play
to
on all
Bluetooth.
the other so it plays Voodoo
Hacker
for
voice,
everybody
I'm
on the
in.
seat.
Everybody gets Voodoo Moon.
And
I'm
then
gonna
on
have to get a wig to look like Matthew Lillard.
and then on the flight home from your trip, you do the same thing, only you do it for showgirls.
Okay, yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah,
I'm
what are they
gonna
gonna
be
do to you?
sitting
Detain you and
directly
put you in
next to-
Venezuela for watching Showgirls?
Especially if there's nuns on board.
Going to be sitting directly next to my sometimes 6, sometimes 7-year-old daughter, depending on when we're on the plane.
Sometimes 6, sometimes 7, sometimes 35.
Sometimes 35.
Look, Dot, that's a lap dance.
No,
Yeah.
it's we land on her birthday. Happy birthday, Dot, by the way.
Or did her
birthday.
birthday land on us?
Her birthday will land on all of us. We have to go to Bosque de la Fades, which is the cafe of the fairies, on the first day of our trip for it.
Yeah,
She's got
because
a
it'll
special
be
dress.
her birthday when this episode gets released.
It will have been her
Yes.
birthday at that point. Yeah, happy birthday, Dee Dee.
Happy
You're 7 now.
birthday.
Yeah. Goodbye, Jessica loves you.
Yeah. Goodbye, Jessica loves you. She drew a sick ass cinema roll earlier today. I should have brought it in.
Send it to
Um,
Lacey.
I'm gonna send a picture. I should at this point. I really should just trade numbers with Lacey.
Why don't
instead
you
of
have
making you the
her
middleman.
number?
I don't know.
No, keep him as the middleman. I
She
mean,
doesn't
you need-
answer texts, so I have
She
to be
doesn't have
her.
to answer. She can just look at them and go, "Ah, cool."
I have to be her executive assistant, so you might as well just run it through me. It's fine.
He's the
Uh,
page boy.
The lore that I am building for Goodbye Jessica at this point.
I have a really good image in my head. I have a lot of drawing to do.
Can
when
you
we get
whip,
off the
can you
horn
whip
here.
it up? Can you whip it up? Royal animate it. If
absolutely.
you
I
whip
might
it up,
make Dot
royal
do it.
animate it. I wonder if I can hack it into that
Is-
Switch game.
Is Goodbye Jessica a cat?
It's a
Because
cat
Hello
that-
Kitty,
it's the-
not a cat.
Skeletor to Hello Kitty. Okay. So
Okay.
whereas Hello Kitty is a girl that dresses like a cat.
She's a cat who dresses like a girl.
Exactly, and you can't tell.
Okay.
You can do a girl, and you just say it's a cat because that's what bullshit.
That's what Hello
Kitty
Kitty
was.
does.
Yeah,
That's what
her
that CBS Sunday Morning told me years ago.
Right.
Because I'm 1,000 years old and I fucking love
So
CBS
so
Sunday
when
Morning.
everyone found out that Hello Kitty was a girl who dressed up as a cat, did you also go, "Excuse me, what?"
Yeah, I can't live it down in
What's
my
her
house.
last name? I'm sorry, what's her last name?
Schwartzman.
Name's Kitty.
Hello Kitty Limpchins.
You know what's also kind of fucked up? She's
Everything
not even
about that
Japanese.
No.
She's British.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's British, not
Yeah.
even
Lives in London.
Japanese.
And she has a pet cat, which really raises a lot of questions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all messed up. Don't know what to do. The thing you turn around, you find that person is Hello Kitty.
Yeah,
But
I've
Jessica's
already-
right
I've-
behind me, isn't she?
Amber is the color of my energy.
Well, it's like I've already built up
Good. Yes.
for-
Yes.
I've already built up lore for Pimpin' Balloons. So
Oh,
Yeah, I
no.
see you've done that.
yeah.
That's just bad bots, Maru. What are we talking about anymore? I'm gonna watch Voodoo Moon.
Let's go watch Voodoo Moon.
Let's go watch some Voodoo Moon. Be right back.
I've spent over half my life fighting him.
I can't do this alone. We have to go back. I'm sorry.
I know.
I know what he's doing. Poking around. Trying to see inside her mind.
Well, everything you draw happens.
Just the bad things that are gonna happen.
And the false prophet shall be burned in a lake of fire. You're nothing! I made you. I'm late.
She's far more powerful than I am.
There we go.
did it.
So before we begin our discussion of Voodoo Moon, I just want to explain what happened to me when I was watching Voodoo Moon. So I decided to sit down and press play, and I completely forgot that about 45 minutes before I started to press play on that, I took an edible for just to relax because it was a stressful day. Here's the thing. The edible that I took was the edible that I use as a painkiller. So normally the edible, here we go, dirty little secrets of J-Star here. When I take an edible to just relax, it's only about 12.5 milligrams of omega-8. The one for
Delta.
painkiller,
Delta.
the one for the Delta 8.
Omega-8, something else. I think that's a fish oil of some kind.
So
It is.
the one that I took, which is the painkiller one, is 50 milligrams
Yeah. Good.
of Delta 9. The scene where it turned into Hellraiser out of nowhere is when it kicked in.
Fine. And when you say out of nowhere, it is quite literally out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
It really is. I mean, I even had to back it up to think, because when I realized it kicked in, I was like, okay, maybe I missed something here. Nope, I missed nothing right there for us to suddenly go into that and to suddenly introduce this character out of nowhere too. First of all, I'm mad because there's no fucking voodoo in this movie.
There is one moment of voodoo at the very beginning. Thank you very much. Hang it up.
There's also not a
I didn't even qualify that as voodoo. I mean, blowing the dust. I was just like, that could just be any Haitian.
There was the casting
Listen.
of bones.
Lacey referred to that man as Haitian Pee Wee Herman, and
I love
the
it.
best. She has the best takes for that. She was on fire when we were watching this movie. I want to tell you that there's a priest in here that she kept calling Boris Johnson. There was,
Oh man, we
Asian
gotta watch
Pee Wee
more
Herman.
movies with Lacey.
Just going for it. Just that's what happens. When
This
she pays
movie
attention to a
deserved
movie.
it. This movie is so riffable. I'm shocked. Riff
Yeah,
tracks. Not
that's what I'm
done this
saying.
yet.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to start by saying I think the effects are really good. I
They're
think
great.
the makeup was great. I think the
Oh.
hair was good. I
Yep.
think the post, they got it all. I've been calling it Adobe After Effects the movie.
I do like
it's
that.
so good.
We finally, after how many seasons of Buffy and Angel, get to see that Charisma Carpenter has a tramp stamp in this movie. Thank you.
Did get to see that.
Thank you for that.
There's a lot of
her
good
act-
tattoo work in this too.
Yeah.
Her acting was just mwah in
Oh,
this
she
movie.
was one take wondering every scene,
But it was still better than 9/10 of what was in the movie.
which is shocking considering the caliber of people in this thing.
Holy shit.
I love the fact that Eric Mabius in this movie couldn't let the crow go.
No.
And but he went one step beyond. It was Chris Angel as the crow.
Yeah.
is
I
what his
like
character
what if
was.
the crow was that football player who was secretly gay from Cruel Intentions?
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly it. Also,
He's really
just
pulling it all together.
while we're
This
on that
movie was
topic,
a hot mess, but it was a fun hot mess.
while we're in that zone, right? The Mabius Carpenter zone. How about you cast a brother and sister who don't absolutely want to fuck each other every second that they're on camera?
Yeah, like
so
it's
much- there-
weird.
I was like, why is
Oh.
there sexual tension between the brother and sister?
So much of it.
No.
So much of it. So much sexual tension.
It's
Painful.
really strange. And a lot more sexual tension than between him and what's her teeth?
Lola?
Lola. Not a showgirl.
Was this a
A little
was
disappointing.
this a do you think that this was a backdoor pilot?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
definitely. This felt
know.
like it. That was actually one of the notes I had was, why does this feel like a backdoor pilot for a sci-fi series?
See, my big note was this is what Netflix is going to look like in 5 years because of the second screen experience. I was like, oh shit, we're coming back. These things, you got to be on top of that shit. You got to be ready.
I love the level of Mortal Kombat annihilation visual effects this movie had, especially during the grand climax of the film.
Really reminding us we all got a skeleton inside us, huh?
Yeah, if you took the filming kind of setup from a Doctor Who episode and took the Mortal Kombat Annihilation special effects and put them together, you get this movie.
You really do.
You get
I also
the one scene play, the bottle play that is Jeffrey Combs talking to his wife for 10 minutes. It's great. It's great.
Oh, that comes out of nowhere. And it was like the only time Jeffrey Combs gets to be normal. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, no, we're going to hit you with a truck and then be Jeffrey Combs.
kind of for no reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love that to be possessed in this movie, if you're possessed, you can tell because the makeup artist put Ben Nye Grime Effects ash all over you.
Right.
And that's how you know.
Right. On
for
Boris
those of
Johnson specifically.
Right, exactly. Boris Johnson.
I also want to mention, I made this mistake in part 1. Jeffrey Lewis is not the father of Jennifer Lewis. Jeffrey Lewis is the father of Juliette Lewis, the Banff. But him and the guy at the gas station, they were ad-libbing, weren't they?
Well,
that didn't seem like it was scripted at all. I love Jeffrey Lewis. I think he's a great actor, but I was like, that's ad-libbing.
The other guy that's at the gas station is Christian Kane. Christian Kane is the actor from every episode of Leverage, almost every episode of The Librarians, which he filmed this during that. Why?
Oh, yeah, I guess it was the same time.
Why? Why would you do that? You had 3 lines. What does Kevin Van Hook have on all these people?
Right. What is
does
he doing to them? I think the most unrealistic part of this movie is that an old man can find a newspaper clipping quickly.
Was that quickly?
He went right back there and then grabbed it and came right back over and is telling us all about how they flooded that town and didn't even bother to demolish it first.
Can we also talk about that country song that the character Sally was listening to?
I'd rather not talk about it.
after she was giving the blowjob in the semi truck out of nowhere, I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute!"
John Amos did the Lord's work in this movie.
He really did.
He really did.
He went for the acting in a way that no one else was.
In a big way, especially considering his character had less than nothing to do.
Yeah.
The whole movie.
How dare you? He wrote a motor.
He rode a motorcycle and then clipped art into a cornfield.
No, my favorite thing about that scene is the devil shows up in their backyard. Everyone runs out the back door to get to the devil and his zombies as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
John goes out the side door to his motorcycle. It is maybe 50 feet to the cornfield from the backyard.
It's longer to start your motorcycle. Hang on, I gotta find a parking spot. Now I will say,
but that country song that Sally was listening to.
Oh, we gotta,
we're trying to skip it.
What?
He's not gonna let it go.
What language was that? Klingon? Because I could not.
It was in Voodoo language.
Yes, because it was like
I think it's French.
I was like, "Is this Gola Gola? What the hell is this?"
No. So I said I'm going to turn on Voodoo Moon, and producer Craig, hi Craig, you're amazing, I love you, said I'm gonna have a nap. And instantly went into the other room.
His loss on this one, Craig.
Came in about a half an hour from the end.
Jesus.
In one of the scenes where John Amos is sitting there just dicking with a gun for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, "Is that John Amos?" And I said, "Yes, it is." He's like, "But I like John Amos."
Yeah. Also,
we all do.
And you like G Wallace.
We all do.
Okay, D Wallace.
I think she was already dead at that point. Sorry.
Why did they make Dee Wallace look like Melinda Dillon from Harry and the Hendersons in this movie?
A little weird.
Because I didn't think it was weird because I didn't think it was Dee Wallace at first. I thought it was, and I actually, when I was sober, went back to watch this movie, and both times
watched this thing twice.
I watched it twice because I didn't understand what the hell was going on when I was high.
I've seen it 10 times. I've seen it 10 times now.
And Andrew, do you understand what the hell was going on?
Yeah, I think I do. I would
love an overview because I was watching it hard. Almost
as lightly as I can. Eric Mabius's character, right? When he was a child, had a fight with the devil, and he survived. Well, the town that he was in had a fight with the devil. He survived. He saved Dee Wallace in that fight. He then went on to become, how does he refer to it? The focal point of all religion. He finds the focal point of all religion, which is the only way you can fight the devil.
Mhm.
But he goes Kane and Kung Fu style for the rest of his life, trying to kill the devil. And in doing so, he's picking up his
misfit gang. He's got Diane, he's got John Amos, he's got meth head prostitute, he's got Raimundo Lopez, Conchita, Alonso y Todos y Mas. He's got all of those guys.
And you don't.
By the way, the actor who played Ray is named Ray in real life, and I was just like, that's creative.
Couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, couldn't be bothered to learn a name.
So basically, what you're saying is that in the beginning of his life, it was the devil went down to Georgia.
Yeah, except it was Louisiana.
It was Louisiana, though.
But
okay.
In doing so, by the way, in this movie, you are going to get a full 7 to 10 minute backstory on every single character.
Every character.
Even the ones that don't really appear again in the movie. For example, Diane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why was she there?
She was there just to be there. She served
to
no
almost
purpose.
have her head cut off.
Yeah.
No, she was there. She was there to have John Amos oogle at the end of the movie. And say, come on, ride this motorcycle with me, baby.
Princess.
Oh, my God.
Terrible John Amos impression.
But you also get cameos by Christian Kane and Vampire Bill.
Vampire Bill, yeah.
Vampire Bill is in this as Jeffrey Combs' police partner who gets possessed by the devil.
He got that grime effects.
That whole backstory, I can't believe how much of a chunk of the movie that backstory took. I was like, when are we getting to the point?
Then they didn't. The lack of tension in this movie is shocking.
Yeah, for everything
what I love
happens,
is like
they really don't care. The movie doesn't care.
What I love is like they did this whole scene with Jeffrey Combs and they made it look like he's going to be like this big character, and immediately after he's done telling the story, he gets smacked by a big rig, and I'm like, well, there goes Jeffrey
Combs.
He gets
shoved down the stairs by a woman at a motel, and then
he lives through that pretty good.
Well, they let him be Jeffrey Combs at that point and just be like a Christian zombie.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like a revenant that's just gonna
I can rest now.
There's a
great
like that
scene. He was wandering around instead of saying brains, he was just saying coal until the taxi driver finally figured out what the hell he was trying to say.
That scene is so funny.
Late.
Because
I love him. I love that taxi driver.
The taxi driver standing in the camera shot in between Jeffrey Combs, like
you can see Jeffrey Combs hiding behind him.
And
so funny.
John Amos it was Lola at the door.
It was Lola.
Oh God, it was so good. Oh,
it was the closest. So it was the closest we got to a recreation of the Twin Peaks Dougie moments.
Yeah,
was there?
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Funny.
It's true. There is a scene. It does pass the Bechdel test.
It does. It does pass.
But
the Bechdel
there is
test.
also to rain on the Bechdel test parade. The scene was shot in the kitchen where all the women were because they weren't allowed to be playing cards with the men.
They weren't allowed to be bad at cards until John Amos lost enough times to Raimundo Lopez, Conchita, Alonso y Todos y Mas.
Oh my God, it's so good. There is
Escondido.
Escondido, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I called him. By the way, I called him the Waka Waka cab driver.
And that's good. That's very good. He was the Waka Waka cab driver.
No notes.
I also loved.
This movie was all over the place.
I loved seeing Eric Mabius get medical care from Dee Wallace while wearing no shirt, but while wearing a leather cuff.
Yeah.
By the way, hold on.
She was raking the fuck out of him.
Let me do this. Let's talk about the leather cuff.
I would love to talk about the leather cuff for the next 45 uninterrupted minutes.
The random leather cuff. I've kind of felt offended because in the 90s I wore a random leather cup.
It was 2006. Everyone had one.
So he's wearing a leather cuff. Eric Mabius is wearing a leather cuff in this movie. Pretty much the whole movie. up
It's
until
a capital H he when we're talking about Eric Mabius, by the way.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
His sister, Charisma Carpenter, who they want to have sex with each other. Let's just put that out of
But
our
she's too busy drawing psychic pictures like that guy
mind.
from
Thank
Heroes.
you.
Came out the same year.
Thank you. So she's drawing psychic pictures of the future. And there's a psychic picture that she draws very clearly of a man being impaled on the steeple of a church wearing the leather cuff. So we're all like, well, who's wearing
shit.
Oh shit, Eric Mabius is going to die on a church steeple wearing the leather cuff.
That's what I thought, because he
There
also
is
had
a
stringy
scene-
black hair.
So
Same
the
here.
devil shows up at the farmhouse where Eric is holed up with his misfit band of holy warriors.
Mhm.
And
They
he's
honestly felt
talking-
like they were from two different movies.
Oh, they're everybody in this is in a completely different movie.
Except for the guy that plays the devil, who is also playing Eric Mabius in this exact same movie.
I do have comments on the devil. But he convinces Charisma Carpenter he's one of the Eric Mabius's friends that are all coming to fight the devil, and he's looking at her pictures, and he sees a picture of a guy impaled on a church steeple wearing the cuff. To wit, he immediately, within 5 minutes of seeing it, takes the cuff off of Eric Mabius and puts it on himself.
I'm gonna do it. Why would you do that?
There's also
Fuck Earth! I'm going back to hell.
There's
Maybe.
also a scene in this movie where Charisma Carpenter and Eric Mabius are held up in a seedy hotel, not having sex, and Eric Mabius is on
Trying
the
so hard not
bed,
to have sex.
and Charisma Carpenter's across the room, and she looks in a mirror and she sees the devil perched crow style above
Yes.
Eric Mabius very clearly for multiple seconds before she turns around and it's not there. And then the devil shows up 3 days later at a farmhouse, and she's like, "Oh, you must be one of his friends? I've never seen you before,
You
except for the
just saw
3
him.
seconds in a hotel perched over my dying brother, who I don't want to have sex with."
Right. And at this point in the movie, I did make a fun note because he's following all of the meth head sex worker lady, and
Hey, she got her life together.
she did eventually get her life together.
After she got a
She
weird
got a-
tattoo on her real flat ass.
Yeah, weird Sharpie tattoo. But then he keeps turning into birds. And so I just wrote, man, I hate it when I'm following people and I turn into birds.
Yeah, that was like having them come out of the cornfield. I was like, could we get any more stereotypical?
Oh, you know I got excited when there was corn.
We
Yeah,
love
corn.
it. This is a
We set
corn positive podcast.
We set up straight when the corn fingers came out.
As soon as she started drawing that corn, I started leaning in. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
something's
we
gonna
lean
happen.
forward to corn.
I lean into corn. Also, I thought it was really brave of Charisma Carpenter to really live her truth and do this whole movie without filling in her eyebrows one single moment.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good for her, you know.
I need to talk about one thing, and I will say this was bothering me while I was high. Not as much as when I was sober, but when I was high, it was really bothering me. That little piece of sharp-edged, sticking out from the side of her head, hair thing throughout this whole film. Was that a wig she was wearing? Please tell me it was a wig. And not
it's all wig work. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much all of
because
it's wig work.
I think I was even texting you guys screaming, "Someone comb this bitch's hair."
Can't do it.
Because
Wig's
it's
too cheap. Gonna have to soak it in some fabric softener first.
This isn't a lace front. This is Party City.
Did anybody else think? So there are a lot of depictions of the devil on TV and in videos,
Mhm.
in movies.
And even in this movie, there are
Yeah.
multiple depictions of the devil.
The devil that they chose is the softest featured devil I've ever seen in my entire life.
They
No
tried
chin.
so hard. They tried to give him a little black mustache. It just was not working.
Yeah, just the most British, softest devil I've ever seen. Not
Real-
Lucifer.
Real Rowan Atkinson of a devil.
This devil was a star amongst his pupils in high school in the Glee Club and the Drama Club,
Has
because
the
yeah.
devil
kind of gave that
has
vibe.
this devil done anything else besides
Yeah,
this?
let's look into him. because
I've got
he
it
seems-
pulled up. I
He's
can tell
giving
you,
big fish in a small pond energy.
Rick Young is the name.
Good.
Of the
That's a
devil,
really
but it's
recognizable.
R-I-K. R-I-K.
Rick.
Rick.
Oh, unique.
Didn't have time for the sea.
Yeah.
Because the way he introduced himself when he was sitting up there, like he was
there's
about ready
some
to break
faces
into
happening.
a buzz. He was like
there's-
about ready to break into like some choreography from All That Jazz or something. But
He was ready. It was showtime.
This man,
Okay,
this,
go
man
for it.
this man has done some work. I will tell you that.
Okay.
Okay.
He did what should be probably important to Roy and I, and what will become important to Courtney later. He was Javid in the Children of Doom miniseries that the Sci Fi Channel did.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
So he did that. He did a bunch of TV. He did a bunch of Sci-Fi Channel movies, though, so we might see him again.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
So just know that he was definitely in one episode of Bones. He was
Sure.
definitely in a couple episodes of The Sweet Life of Cody, though.
Okay. We love a Sweet Life of Zach and
Alrighty.
Cody moment.
How old was he when he made this movie then?
Great question. So at this point, I believe we are met with Lola with her shirt on, no pants and underpants, sitting on Eric Mabius's jeans.
Yeah. Well, and
And-
keep in mind, Eric Mabius is chosen from God to fight the devil. Lola's married to the most Kevin James looking motherfucker I've ever seen in my entire life.
No.
Oh, and by the way, her kid wants to kill her real bad with
Does.
an old radio.
He does.
He does. I think I sent you guys. Didn't I take a photo and send you guys asking what's wrong with her ass?
Oh,
Probably.
I mean,
I don't know. I think
Yes or-
probably what's
yes
wrong
or
with
no,
it is filler that didn't get redone.
Because it's like the minute it showed up, I was like, oh God, what happened to her butt?
Well,
oh my God.
The real problem was, I don't think there's anything wrong with her butt.
No.
I think it was shot directly 180 degrees behind her.
They didn't direct her at all. They didn't tell her
It
to
was
like
bad.
arch
They
her
turned
back
it to the
in.
side. They just
And not for nothing, it's not like she's straddling him in a sexy way. She's sitting on his ass,
Yeah.
which is
She's sitting
weirdly
ass.
unsexy. That's the secret theme. I found the secret theme, you guys. It's sex in the least sexy possible way.
yeah. That's what all the movies this
There
month,
we go.
including Twilight, were sex in the most.
Like
But
the
yeah, it looks
unsexiest
like
sex.
It looked like unmolded clay sitting on his butt in a G-string.
And that's what everybody's butt would look like if it was filmed in the worst possible way.
Directly from behind and not at it. There was no angle up or down. It was they planed it.
No light on it. There's nothing. Also, I wanted to give this movie the props it deserves because it's really bringing us back to form when it comes to dueling. Their dueling between the devil and Eric Mabius was so polite. They waited their turn. They gave each other plenty of lead time. Nobody put up any defenses whatsoever.
It was very Dragon Ball Z, but with chivalry.
Yes.
Before we get there, can I touch on the moments directly before?
Oh, all
that?
the really confusing hostage situations.
So, yes,
Yeah.
but there's so the devil kidnaps Ray, kidnaps Dee Wallace, and kidnaps
Diane is her name.
Diane, and takes them into the woods.
Which is weird because I was pretty sure Dee Wallace had her head chopped off about 30 minutes earlier in the movie.
That,
I
by
saw
the way,
that
I don't know.
too.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this is what I wanted to bring up. That actress is not Dee Wallace in
No,
the
it
woods.
is not. I was like, is that a different woman?
Absolutely not Dee
That
Wallace.
was to Dee Wallace, like what Bela Lugosi's body double was in Plan 9 when he just covered his face.
Yeah, that was not Dee Wallace
I was
at
like,
all.
is there another old lady? And I just forgot because I was pretty sure Dee Wallace was dead because when we first see the devil, there's a cat licking up blood from the laundry basket and there's a head in there.
Yeah,
And they never-
Dee Wallace's head.
I thought that, but then we saw her again and I was like, did she get resurrected and I had a stroke? What happened?
Yeah.
He
They
glued
just-
her head back on.
Just slapped it back on, slapped her, and went, go
They
bitch.
decided they wanted to do reshoots to bring Dee Wallace to keep her, to keep her until that hostage situation. And she was like, fuck no, I'm not coming back for reshoots. So they were like, grab the person working at the gas station. Well, we don't have a wig. Who cares?
Yeah. She did a
Hey.
Shatner. She said, amateurs like you do reshoots. I don't do reshoots. And she went off to go be in, I don't know, a Nightmare on Elm Street or
She
something.
went out to hang out with, isn't she married to Joe Dante? Isn't that her husband?
I don't know.
Dee
Dee
Wallace no, not anymore. I think Dee Wallace is married to somebody else.
Okay.
But
But
she was
anyway,
married. She was married to. I mean, she did movies with her husband.
Yeah. It wasn't Joe Dante.
Like-
Who was it? Was it Joe Dante?
No, it's Christopher Stone.
She was married to
Um,
Christopher Stone, but he dead now, of course.
Yeah, she's now married to Skip Belia.
Not a
Okay.
name.
Okay.
Not a name at all. Made that up.
There's also, so while you're having your polite duel,
Very
all kinds
polite.
of shit, all kinds of shit's happening.
Oh, there's a polite deal going on, and then there's a fucking 28 days later zombie fight going on.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
There's what was the name of the movie that you and I watched, the Italian horror movie? In Still Waters, there was that stuff where there was because there's an underground town,
Yes.
there's a lot of town,
Mhm.
and then there's like zombies down there,
Mm-hmm.
and the truck's down there because they just drove a truck, leapt it into the lake. At
And
one
then there's
point-
those
Just a
two,
hazard.
like, there's like those two spirit things that are coming to help Mabius grab Satan and pull him down onto what was foretold. I was
guess
so
it's
confused
because
as
the
to where they
devil had
came
his-
out of.
I don't know. I think they just were like, well, the devil has his flotsam and jetsam, so I think maybe this guy should probably has his too, even though he's got 37 friends who
Yeah.
could have done that, but no, just let them sit on their knees over there.
Yeah, and those ghosts definitely had jet skis. The
They
way that
did.
they were pulling that guy.
Yeah.
Super fun.
I have one final question about
Okay.
this movie. But okay, and Roy's right. The devil did end up impaled on a
He did get impaled
Wearing
on
the
a
cuff.
church that they didn't bother to tear down before they flooded it.
And turned into charcoal, by the way.
yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Why'd they kill Ray?
For no reason at all.
No reason at all.
He was
There's
blind.
no reason to kill him.
All he wanted to do was play cards.
He was blind. He got blinded by the devil.
I kind of forgot I got blinded.
And
Me
then
too.
He could have been a
like,
cool
"Kill-"
blind guy.
He's like, I'm blind, kill me. And Lola's like, absolutely not. You're just blind. And John Amos walks up and goes, I'll do it. And
I'll do
shoots
it.
him in
I
the
don't give a
head.
shit. John Amos didn't give a
There-
fuck.
There was a
Um,
really good Chekhov shotgun moment in this movie too, where what's
Is
her
it the
teeth put
moment
out
when she's clearly never seen a shotgun in real life?
when she goes to throw the trash away, and there's a shotgun just in every shot while she's throwing the trash away, leaning up against a thing.
Just zooming way in.
Yeah, cutting away from her to the shotgun while she's carrying trash.
And it's
And then, yes,
she looks
The
past
shotgun comes back
shotgun,
later.
and
in the
she shoots it
zombie
real
fight.
bad. She doesn't have any understanding of how a shotgun kicks
Or works.
or
Yes.
works. She's holding it like this. Crazy.
So this movie, listeners, was just so bonkers and just so a great representative of Sci-Fi Channel, made for Sci-Fi Channel movies.
Real
It actually
exemplar.
Yeah, it actually inspired our January 2026 theme. So you got that to look forward to coming up, gang. But
You're welcome.
this movie is on Tubi. You got to see this thing to believe it. It's
great.
Jesus.
Do it with some
My
friends.
favorite sci-fi movie.
Don't watch it alone.
Yeah.
Also, there's full
Watch it
frontal
high.
nudity in this
Yes.
for a moment for no reason.
Roy, talk about that, by the way. It's your favorite part. You definitely sent a picture of the full frontal nudity in this movie. I think you referred to her as a Barbie.
I think you did
Yeah.
call her a Barbie.
Yeah,
In
all of a
fairness,
sudden,
as a person who does not prefer women, I can understand why you would be confused by that.
I mean, that came up and it reminded me of that silly like pubic merkin that Linnea Quigley had to wear in Return of the Living Dead.
Mhm.
Except this one was more close up and obviously foam.
Yeah, there was no
Yeah,
vagina.
it looked like great stuff.
There was nothing there. It's just smooth
No.
mound. Just smooth mound.
Super
No,
weird.
it was just it was vacant. It was just like
Well, I think they
going-
just made her cross her legs so tight that any semblance of actual genitalia just sort of disappeared.
Well,
Well,
if that's enough, I could have done a finger
she-
skateboard jump off of it.
You could.
I will say this: if that's the case, I hope she saw a doctor afterwards because it really did look like it was a foam merkin.
It
that
did.
they
It looked
put
like
on her.
nothing.
Yeah. There is full frontal nudity. It was definitely cut out when I saw it on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh yeah,
For
they
sure
cut that
Had
shit
to
out.
have cut it out. That's why I was shocked when it came up. I was like, I thought this was a Sci-Fi Channel movie.
Yeah, it's owned by Stars now, so I'm guessing. Yeah.
Oh, Stars was like, oh, we
Cutting out all
got
the
this
skin.
now. Put in the vagina.
Hey, so I'm gonna ask
Head
the
quotes.
question: would you guys recommend this movie for people to watch?
For a very specific group of people, yes.
Our
you're gonna have to
people.
have a
Our
group-
people.
Yeah, our people. Grab a couple of friends, watch this. I would prefer you watch it high. It enhances the experience.
Can't speak to that,
Um,
but it was.
You can
weird
also
to
watch it low, like I did. It's great.
in the middle of the afternoon.
It's a weird time to watch this movie.
I started it at like 2 p.m.
If you guys
Okay.
if you guys are going to have like a gathering of friends this Halloween and you're looking for really cheesy horror films to watch for Halloween, definitely you have to watch this at some point at night after you've had a lot of drinks in your system. Just sit down and watch the fuck out of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it.
I think
I mean,
we
we
did
know.
it,
Yeah.
guys.
Tell them
I mean,
what we're doing
I
next month.
I mean, they already know next month we got it's going to be. I mean, part of it is unusual because of what we're doing, but the other thing is because Courtney's about ready to, as if going to Spain was not enough. She's being dragged to Florida.
I am dragged.
Kicked and screaming to Florida.
Kicking and screaming.
She's kicking and screaming to Vista Del Mar for a vacation.
God, I wish.
I think it's pretty lucky.
You know who I would love? Who would be a great date is Mr. Peanut. You're going to show your mom that movie before you leave, right?
I'm gonna try to. I'm excited to quit my job at Jennifer Convertibles. Sorry,
Jennifer Convertibles. Yep.
Jennifer Convertibles. New drag name. Somebody's got to be Jennifer
Somebody
Convertibles,
is.
right?
Somebody is Jennifer Convertibles
Yeah.
right now.
or Tiffany Convertibles.
Either they're sisters, and they vacation together. Yeah. I don't have
But-
anything interesting to say. It's Florida. It's a beach. That's
It's going to be hot.
It's
hot
the Gulf of
sun.
There's going to be
Mexico.
drinks. There's going to be margs.
I like to think that there will be some knockoff Stanley Cups being filled with cold cocktails on the way down to the beach.
Yes. That's up to you.
Probably.
It will be up to me.
Yeah.
If we would like to have photos of anything that really looks like extremely shitty tourist trappy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I assume that there will be at least one fried shrimp restaurant that will fit the bill.
If you see bumper boats, you have to do bumper boats. It's a rule.
If
It's
there
a
is-
rule.
Oh man,
If
I
if
can't think of
there
a
is
thing that
a
would make my child more angry than bumper boats.
Or
if there
happy
is
if she got to just run into you
As-
over and over and
As
over.
a
and
holistic
over.
concept, she could run into us as much as we want, but if anybody runs into her even once, it's over for you
Over.
bitches.
please if there is
Kitty
a
Witch is
Bubba
coming
Gumps-
out, and it ain't gonna be pretty. She's gonna
Mhm.
summon that bitch.
If there's a Bubba Gumps, we need a photo of the Bubba Gumps.
Maybe you
Especially
know what's
since you're
funny?
going
I've
to the
only
Gulf.
eaten at a Bubba Gump's once, and it was in New York City when I hosted I chaperoned a tour of 8th graders.
I've been to Bubba Gumps once, and that's when they had one in San Francisco, and it did not impress me.
Legally in Florida, if you have a beach, you have to have it's a law, I think.
That
I
makes
think you have
sense.
to have a Bubba Gumps.
When I was at Bubba Gump's with all of those 8th graders, they did force us to do trivia. And it was really easy trivia.
Yeah.
And all the kids thought I was a genius because I knew all the answers. And I was like, one of the answers was Forrest Gump. Like,
I'm in Bubba
we're
Gump.
in Bubba
Now,
Gump.
now the trivia that they gave you was a trivia based off of the movie.
It was all kind of random. I don't super remember because it's been a few years.
Yeah, because when I went, it was nothing but trivia from the movie, and I'm just
Maybe
like,
it was all Forrest Gump trivia. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just remember it being really obvious. Now, obvious for me, because as I'm sure has come up on the show before, I have seen Forrest Gump 100 million times because it was one of like 7 VHS tapes that my Nana had at her house. So I saw that movie way too young. I was watching it at 7.
I have a love-hate relationship with Forrest Gump because I hate how it like sugarcoats that era of time in America. And it was basically having the attitude of like Vietnam was a good war.
What an interesting time.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can't knock the special effects that was done in that movie. So
this is our way of telling you we're watching Forrest Gump next month.
We're gonna watch Forrest Gump next month.
And
Here's
Tom
45 minutes about it.
Yeah, and then and then Tom Hanks and Gary Sinise were just so good in that movie. That's why I got a love-hate relationship with them. But that's not where we're watching next month. Next month we're going back to Forks for Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Finally,
cannot wait.
Finally,
this is where shit starts really getting good.
Weird baby.
So we're gonna do, of course, a one-shot episode for that. We're also going to be revisiting 2 favorites of Andrew's and mine that you're going to be watching for the first time, Courtney.
I'm excited.
God damn it.
One is Evil Speak which is like from our very early days of this show. And then the other one is the one I can't wait for. Bad Ben. Cannot wait. Can't wait. And for Bad Ben, we're doing something unique where we're going to record our first part, and instead of come back later after we watch the movie, we're going to record part 1, immediately watch the movie, and then immediately jump back on to talk about the film.
Yeah.
Just so we can get a very fresh reaction from Courtney about
I personally
film.
Can't wait for Courtney to see one of my favorite scenes in all of cinema, and it is in Evil Speak, and it has been talked about on this show so much.
Guy.
The guy on fire in the church. I cannot wait till Courtney sees the guy on fire in the church.
I'm excited. That was a movie tribute.
That in the Army of the Pigs.
Yeah. Well, it's the same scene. It's the same scene. It's great.
Oh, and no, they appear a couple of times in the movie.
I guess
every time the Army of Pigs show up, it's perfect.
So when you said Bad Ben was mad at the Army of Pigs, I did not think that you actually meant quite literally pigs.
Well, that's an Evil Speak.
Oh, Evil Speak. I'm so sorry.
Bad Ben is mad probably at the Army of Pigs, even though they're not in the same movie he's in.
Yeah.
But he's still mad at him.
I remember talking about an Army of Pigs, and I don't think I thought they were literally pigs. I thought, I don't know, maybe
by the way, that's
No.
That's the title of the new 9 Inch Nails album, by the way, is Army of Pigs.
Army of Pigs. Yeah, no. They're actual pigs. They're Clint Howard has an Army of Pigs.
That's fun. Good for Clint Howard.
Much fun.
Oh, you'll love it. The guy who plays like the Satan-esque character in this movie is Richard Mall. So
okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this movie. Why they couldn't just let Clint Howard's character be gay is beyond me. It would have solved so many problems. But
it's so projected. Yeah. But
anyway, we're watching those movies. Those are
that's going to be fun. We're already talking about them, and I've not even seen them yet.
Yep. Cannot wait. All right, guys, join us next time. We're going to be talking about a movie that we've been meaning to talk about forever on this show. We're finally talking about Showgirls for 30th anniversary. So tune in next time when we discuss all things showgirly. Talk to you all later.